So what we're going to do is, so from this day onwards, we are going to engage 22 letters for 22 days. That means today is Monday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. 5 days we are going to engage each letter at the same time, but the duration is going to be very short. So maybe 1 hour, or there will be no discussion for next 22 days. Only these engagements will do. So maybe maximum 1 hour, 1 hour, 20 minutes, or maximum 1.5 hours is maximum. So if anyone cannot come, let's say, you're busy, you cannot engage 5 days, no problem. We're going to give you recording. You can engage. Now, here, 2, 3 things. Each day, for an example, since we are engaging in the evening, so next day, tomorrow, entire day, you need to engage with Aleph. Why we need to engage with Aleph? Because the Aleph has to be a part of you. We have 22 DNA, okay, 22 chromosomes, okay? The 22 chromosomes has to be 22 living letters within you, okay? So when you're breathing, you imagine the Aleph is going inside, and when you chant or when you meditate, Aleph, you imagine that Aleph is coming out of you. And I would even suggest you open your first love gate and ask Aleph to enter inside and let Aleph form in you. So that, we have, because these are the living letters, these letters will go and create. When, scripture says our words will create, word always consists of letters, okay? And, there are many people say, apart from these living letters, every letter is a dead work. Like for an example, English, A, there is no meaning of A, but Aleph has a meaning, okay? And while I was engaging, I have seen whenever you chant these letters, your throat to mouth, from your throat to mouth actually forms a shape of these letters. When you say Aleph, you're from throat to mouth, it becomes like Aleph. Okay, all letters are like that. So 22 letters, 22 days we are going to engage, and then we're going to engage both 7 spirits and 22 letters, and then we'll wrap it up by August 15th of mid of the August, because we need to practice this. Once you practice, and when the living letters start forming in you, it will be a different level of understanding you'll have. Okay, and for your information, let me tell you, we all know Adam named all the creatures. How Adam named? How Adam named? Adam named, for an example, dog. Okay, God brought dog before Adam. I'm explaining in English. Okay, God brought dog before Adam. So these letters, living letters, is to come and fall on dog. For an example, dog, D-O-G. So first D form falls, and O falls, and G falls. By that, Adam is to say, oh, this is dog. By these living letters, Adam named all the creatures. Okay, let's go. So Aleph is actually, the shape of the Aleph. This is the, Hebrew letters have modern shapes and also old shapes. So in ancient shape, this is the actual shape. And they to write it, because it's sometimes to write this Aleph is going to be difficult. So they have made a modern alphabets, and they use in writing. So in writing you'll not find this, but here we are not learning the language. Here we are not coming to a place of learning by saying others, we know Hebrew language. We are not here to learn Hebrew language. We are here to engage with this 22 living letters. That's all. We are not going to go into reading Hebrew, Bible, all that. We are not going into all that. So because we want to engage with the tree of life, and these 22 letters are part of the tree of life, because it's a creative part of God's, God himself. So we are engaging so that, they'll also become part of us. So this is Aleph, and this is like an ox, yoked ox. Ox is yoked, okay? So let's Aleph. Now what Tony was saying is this. Now this is Genesis 1:1. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth. Now here, if from here to here, if you read, it says, Bereshit bara Elohim yet, Aleph and Tau. Now this is not translated in any English Bible, okay? So what it says, Bereshit bara Elohim yet means, in the beginning, God created yet. What is that? Aleph and Tau, okay? So this was not translated. Here in English, in the beginning, God created heavens and the earth. Okay, this is Asha Mahim, from here, heavens and earth. But here it says earth first. So this was not translated. Now, in the Revelation 22:13, if you see, Jesus says, I am the Aleph and the Tau. He never said, I am Alpha and Omega. People translated it. So I am Aleph and Tau is what Jesus said. Okay. Now, since we are going through the scriptures, we are going to see the law of first mention. So the Aleph first mentioned in the Hebrew Bible is when they're calling the name of God, Elohim. So if you want to, I mean, there's a principle people, many Bible, those who are students of the Bible, they use to understand certain meanings, certain things. They go to first it mentioned in the Bible, and they try to read the entire chapter or the situation, and they'll try to understand what it means. So to understand Aleph, we go to the law of first mention. Aleph was first mentioned in the first chapter of Genesis 1:1, where it mentioning the name of God. Okay, this is the here you say Elohim, Aleph, Lamed, He, Mem. Okay. Now, these are, for your reference, I'm giving you some of Hebrew letters and its meaning, okay? So Hebrew living letters are pictorial letters. Every living letter has a meaning, it has a purpose, and it has its number, okay? So all that is, when you engage, when you want to deep study, you can go and, use it for yourself. I'm not going to go into the numbers here, but this is for your reference I'm giving you so that you can read. Now again, Aleph is again combination of three letters. Aleph is Aleph, Lamed, Pe. Okay, so here is a Aleph, which is a yoked ox, means strong power, leader, teach. Okay, yoke, 1,000, all these meanings. You can go through yourself. And Lamed means lead, teach, yoke, tongue, all that. Pe means, again, here pe means, open, command, blow, scatter, worded speech. So by these three, what we understand Aleph is, let's say, a leader. Okay. Lamed is a teacher, or teach. Pe is mouth. So the meaning of the Aleph here, as per my interpretation, is the one who yoked. Okay, the one who yoked to bring mankind into fruition, or mankind into its purpose, we can say, has a teaching which is going to speak, or Aleph is going to speak the teaching of master, or teaching of the leader. You can interpret, because see here, interpretation is in Hebrew letters, Hebrew language. In the beginning, there is no vowels. Okay, there is no vowels. Vowels are actually dictate pronunciation. Okay, vowels are not there. Because why vowels are not there? Because you are free to speak as you like. Okay, so when we use vowels, what we are doing is, we are compelling everyone to conform to a certain idea. But God created us uniquely. We all need to be different. So vowels came, and there is a pronunciation, and everybody has to speak on a certain pronunciation. That's not God's idea. God doesn't want to make all of humanity look like same. He created different. We are all unique. We all need to speak uniquely. But what letters we are using, by that people should understand what we are speaking. Now, in Psalms 119, 7, there are 22 segments, okay? Each segment has 7 verses, okay? So this psalm particularly, David used to teach Solomon about the importance of the letters, 22 letters. So I suggest every day, like tomorrow, you engage with Aleph and also meditate Psalm 119, 1 to 7, where they were all these seven scriptures are under Aleph. Okay. If Psalm 119, if you see, there are 22 segments. Each segment is categorized for one alpha, one living letter. So you meditate 1 to 7, which is under Aleph. So what it says, happy are the innocent in the way who walk in Torah of the Lord. So basically, he's teaching his son how to be spiritual. Okay, so this particular 7 scriptures is under Aleph. So you need, as you meditate, God is going to reveal many things. So I'm not going to give you, what you call revelations I am receiving. I want you to receive for yourself. So for that, you have to meditate. You see, if you don't practice it, what happens is, as it is coming, it will go. You will not make that particular thing part of your life. So everything we need to practice. There is a difference between teaching and training. Teaching is, I'll just speak, whatever I know, you will hear or you'll not hear, up to you. But training is not like that. Training is, I'll make sure, or the person who is training will make sure that everybody learns. So godly way is always training, not teaching. Okay, so you have, the more you practice, it will become a part of your life. Okay, then you will have the real sense. So we need to train ourselves. In many Bible says we need to train our senses to become mature. So the more you practice, the more you meditate, the more you engage with God, the more the things that are other side unseen will become reality. The problem is we have a lot of unbelief, because we all of our life used our senses to understand the world around us. But to sense the world which we cannot see, we need to train our senses that way so that we can see the things that are not seen. Okay, so the more you practice, the more you meditate, the more you engage, the more you call for the names, unseen realm is going to be very familiar with you. So what it says, happy are the innocent in the way who walk in the teaching of the Lord. Happy are those who keep his testimonies. Now, testimonies, I have written there with making, make you more sense. Testimony meaning is witness. It is not heard. The most of the things in religion is what we hear, we speak. But testimonies is what you saw, what you witnessed, that you witness. Happy are those who keep his testimonies, seeking him with whole heart. Okay, so if you walk with God, you need to see him, you need to hear him. If these things are not happening, you have to sit down and deal with this issue with God. Verse 3, they also do no injustice. They walk in his ways. So when you walk with God, when we walk with Aleph, these things will happen to you. That's what I understand. Okay, so when Aleph will become a part of your life, then you will not do injustice. Then you will have testimonies. Okay, and then you will walk in the teaching. Torah, they say Torah, but it's actually teaching. It's not teaching in the Bible. It's what God teaching to you. Okay, verse 4 says, you commanded us to diligently keep your commands. Now it is translated as commands, but mandates. Okay, God said, do your mandate. First of all, many of us do not know what is our mandate. Okay, so here says, you commanded us to diligently keep your mandate. So God has commanded us to diligently keep our mandates, which we should know. Verse 5, on that that my ways were directed to keep your statutes. So when we do mandates, when we walk with God, when we do certain things, then it says God will direct us to keep his statutes. What is statutes? God's nature. Then I shall not be ashamed when I have respect for all your commandments. I shall praise you with uprightness of heart when I shall have learned your righteous judgment. I shall keep your statutes, or do not utterly forsake me. So, the utterly forsake me is the Old Testament idea, what they understood. God is now, because we understood his statutes, his love, he is not going to forsake any of us. So now, the more you meditate, the more you things will change. Actually, it's 1 to 8, not 7. Okay. So there are 8 scriptures. So what we are going to do is, this is the modern Hebrew Aleph, and this is the original. So what we are going to do is, as we engage, we are going to open first love gate and ask Aleph to come inside of us and let Aleph form in our, in our DNA, in our blood, in our, chromosomes, So let Aleph form in us. And then what we do is, when we are going to chant Aleph, everyone is going to speak one time. And if you're not comfortable to speak, you're free not to speak. Okay, so when you breathe, when we chant, what we do is we breathe in first, and then while exhaling, we speak. So when you breathe in, you consider, you imagine that through your nostrils, the Aleph is going inside. And then when you speak out, you imagine Aleph is coming out of you. Okay, this is what you have to do. So first I'm going to do. Tony, you want to do it? Go ahead.
All right. Aleph.
Come on, guys, speak one by one. Now let's engage with the Spirit of the Lord. Let's engage with the spirit of wisdom. Let's engage with the spirit of understanding. Let's engage with the spirit of counsel. Let's engage with the spirit of might. Let's engage with spirit of knowledge. Engage with spirit of the fear of the Lord.